Amy. They're killing it in the real estate business. And the reason why I'm bringing them on because I want people to know if you're the kind of homeowner who says, I got to remodel this house, and then you get frustrated because contractors, the pricing, everything goes kaput. Well, maybe you want to move. But how are you going to find the right real estate agent? What's the questions to ask? How do you do that? So we might as well find successful ones and talk to ones that do this full time instead of part time and have it happen the right way. That's how excited I am. So that's what we've got going on. But guess what today is? Salt Sale Saturday. Did you know that Beauchamp Water Treatment Solutions is the trusted leader in high-quality, cost-effective services and equipment throughout all of Southeast Michigan with locations in Livingston and Oakland counties? Their new location now is in Howell, and they're really, really the right people when it comes to water quality. I'm going to tell you that right now. So whether you have city or well water, Beauchamp will solve your hard, smelly water problems. And, of course, it'll keep you safe from lead, PFAS, and any other contaminants. So you should get a water test. Get a free, and they'll do it for free, by the way, 810-632-2000. Every Saturday, which is today, you get to save on all your salt because it's Salt Sale Saturdays. And just go to the Waterford, Heartland, or Howell locations. BeauchampWater.com. BEAU champwater.com. That's how simple it is. Listen, water's the next frontier. You think gas is going to be expensive. Wait till clean water starts screwing up people. I'm telling you, it's the right way to go. And, of course, this morning, if you have a question, you can always text us, 248-539-9797. We'll be absolutely helping you out with any of those kind of questions. And if you're a contractor and you want to shout out, I'll love to talk to you. So how long should parts of your home last? Well, obviously, the easy one is the roof, right? If the roof, now listen, if your roof is installed properly, okay, that means ventilation, intake, exhaust, there's proper insulation, and you have the right shingle. If that's all hitting in all cylinders, your roof should last minimum 30 to 50 years. That's a long time. And here's my other attitude. If your roof's not leaking and it's really old, I would absolutely not replace it. Only if it's leaking. Just my opinion. So it's excited. And listen, roofing is not cheap. In fact, pricing of everything's out of control today. So we got to figure out how to survive and how to make things happen the right way. How about your refrigerator? You get about 6 to 15 years out of a refrigerator. And I have a Sub-Zero at my house, and that sucker is 2021. Yeah, you know what? My Sub-Zero is 21 years old. I got it in 2000. It's a tank. It's a battleship. In fact, I had a guy from Authorized Factory Service yesterday come to my house. They're pretty good. Pretty technology savvy. They got some good techs. I was impressed with the guy that showed up. His name was John. Anyways, he said to me, I asked him about my Sub-Zero, and he's like, yeah. He goes, they don't make them like that anymore. He goes, the new one's got a lot of bells and whistles. He goes, there's still quality, but the one like I have, he said, yeah, man. Ride that sucker to the end. I'm like, yeah, baby. Dishwashers should last about 10 years. I think these are low numbers unless you have newer ones because I think the products in my house they've lasted longer. I don't know, though. 248-539-9797. Don't forget, we're going to talk about flipping houses. We're going to be talking about how to find a real estate agent later. That's a good one because what other questions to ask? I want to know, does the real estate agents out there, are they just looking to get the listing or are they actually going to work for you? In fact, I have a list of questions that I'm going to be asking our experts, subject matter experts from We Are Dobie. This next hour coming up for real estate. So your dishwasher. Well, how about your washing machine? Your washing machine should last about 12 years. Anyways, clothes dryer, flooring, heating, cooling, cooktop, deck, toilet, water heater. We're going to tell you how long those should last when we come right back. My name's Adam Helfman. This is the Hire It Done Radio Network. Welcome back. This is Higher Done. My name's Adam Helfman. We were talking about home facts. How long should parts of your home last? We already covered a roof, refrigerator, dishwasher, washing machine. Your clothes dryer. How long should your clothes dryer last? Average, it says 10 years. But I'm thinking I don't know. I'm thinking maybe doesn't seem that long. I think these numbers are low. I think these should go longer. My goal would be to have stuff last forever. But, listen, we're in the age of throwaway. That's the problem. Everyone wants to throw stuff away. But what can I say? I don't know. It is what it is. So, what's going on your home improvement list? How long should a cooktop or an oven? Right? I don't even know what brand I have. My oven. I don't use my oven in my cooktop. I'm the eat out every night guy. However, I do, I do know that a cooktop should last about 15 years. That's crazy, right? How about your heating and cooling system? Furnace, things like that. That's a good one. 20, 25 years for your furnace. So I could say that. But, here's the thing. Right now, if you need a new furnace, you got to watch out, my friends, because getting materials. I was talking to one of my heating and cooling companies yesterday, and they were saying to me they can't get product. Well, that's a problem. A big problem. I don't know what you're going to do. I got the answers. How long should a deck last? Right now, people trying to get a deck done, I'm going to tell you right now, that's crazy. The deck done properly could last up to 30 years if you maintain it. But how do you maintain a deck? Well, it depends on the wood or the species. Look at Trex decks are not maintenance free. Those are composite decks, but they're low maintenance. And there's a difference between maintenance free and low maintenance. I hope you all know that. Toilet. Now, that's a good one, right? It's hard to say how long a toilet lasts. Well, the flapper valve, the wax ring. What really goes wrong with a toilet? That's the key. What about your water heater? Water heaters are good ones, right? They say 10 years. However, my water heaters are 15 years old. I have two 50 gallons tied together. They're 15 years old at least. I'm gonna leave them till they blow out. Literally, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm leaving my water heaters till they blow right out. Just because. I think that's the best way to do it. How about flooring? Wow, what kind of flooring? I looked at some flooring yesterday on a condo. They wanted to take the hardwood up, and the hardwood was glued onto a concrete floor. So I'm like, you know what? Rip that out and put luxury vinyl tile. And they're like, well, how much? And I'm like, literally, it's going to be expensive. So they're like, all right, well, so here's the thing. Flooring can last 50 years if it's done right. Hardwood floor, obviously, if you have a lot of traffic patterns, then it becomes a different story. But literally, you should be okay. So, again, those are the things that you need around your house and make sure how long it lasts. So, did you just survive from the storm? Text me 248-539-9797. Let me know if you had any power outage or storm damage. And how you're doing. I had actually, finally, my power went out, came back on that night, or the next day, actually, which made me want to think about getting a generator. I used to have one, and then I moved, and my intention was, get a generator. I never got one. Well, guess what? It's, now it's like, put it top of mind. Are you getting a generator? Do you think it's worth it? Think about that. The average household is not out more than 72 hours of power. Is it worth spending a lot of money on a generator for 72 hours of no power? Well, let me ask you. I just lost my power in my house, and it was out for over 24 hours, but less than 72 hours. I lost all the food in my fridge and my freezer, all garbage. So now what? What do? You throw it out. Do you make it an insurance claim? Lots of insurance claims coming around here right now. How do you handle that? Well, that becomes an issue. My attitude is, don't, if you have insurance, it's there to be used, right? Now, if you have a $2,500 deductible, there's no sense in making a claim if you've got, $1,000 worth of food in your refrigerator. Although for me, it sounds like fixing or getting rid of your refrigerator stuff is really cool because you can get to go shopping for all new stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, do I really want to go to the grocery store, Meijer, Walmart, Kroger, Papa Joe's, wherever, Nino's, and start over? Buy a new thing of bottled ketchup, a new thing of pickles, a new thing of mayonnaise, a new thing of mustard, because literally I want to throw everything out, right? And then, of course, I got to load up my freezer with all my ice cream, dilly bars, push-ups. Remember push-ups? When we were little, think about that. We used to eat push-ups, the little orange swirly push-ups. Did you know that they use the push-ups made in the same roll as a toilet paper roll? And we didn't care as kids. You push it up to a toilet paper roll. Easy does it, right? Hey, whatever. So, let's talk about some mistakes people make with their yards, okay? Did you know that sometimes your front of your backyard gets away, starts to overgrow, like recently all the trees, trim, all that kind of crazy stuff. You just don't know, what you got going on around your house. So let it get away from you. You're busy inside. You're busy trying to survive. Life gets in the way, right? Or your ambitions exceed your skill set or your budget. So you got to be careful. So here's the thing. Don't design around your problems, right? If you have a muddy area and then you want to put a patio in the muddy area, go for it. But make sure that it's planned properly. Don't put features far away from your house, right? If you have a big backyard, that's a bonus, right? But like a patio, a fire pit, built-in grill, beautiful yard needs to be functional. You don't want to have to take a walk for 10 minutes to get to the back end of your backyard. So the key here is make it all convenient. Traffic patterns, just like designing a kitchen. In fact, outdoor kitchens are all the rage right now. So you got to make sure, if you're looking for that kind of stuff, we have all the great people. How about lawn mistakes? A sorry-looking lawn, it's really a heartbreak for homeowners, as you know. And it can get difficult to get your lawn back on track. So unfortunately, lawns provide all sorts of areas to make mistakes. Now, I'm not a lawn expert. I just know how to hire the right landscapers. I know how to do the right thing for these people. So you need to make sure. Now, when you're mowing your lawn, if you're a do-it-yourselfer or a hire it done person, don't mow your lawn too low. Think about that. Don't do it too low. By the way, if you have a question or a comment this morning, text me 248-539-9797. Mowing too low has a negative influence on maintaining a healthy lawn. It's the truth. Mowing too infrequently. You should mow your lawn to remove no more than 1/3 of the leaf per row. So if it's 4 inches of lawn or 5 inches, just no more than 2 inches. Anyways, we're going to talk more about mowing your lawn no-nos when we come back. My name's Adam Helfman. I want to thank you for tuning in. We'll be right back.
My name is Vic Simjanowski, and I'm Adobe Real Estate Agent. Adobe is unlike any other place in real estate. When I started in this business, I was thrown to the wolves and forced to learn this business on my own. When I see others start, I want to help them. I see myself in them. I don't want them to feel lost. It's at these times that I harness our core value of boss up, having an ownership mentality and helping others. At other brokerages, everyone is so separated. At Dobie, we are all in it together while operating our own individual business. We help each other out with deals, we celebrate wins, and help each other out when someone's down. But what brings me back to Dobie every day is the culture. It brings me back with a smile on my face.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. What's it going to take? Think about it. What's it going to take for you to hire or find a right contractor? Patience? Communication? I mean, think about that. There's so many aspects in finding the right person. Listen, you want to make sure that you get something handled to your advantage for success, for your satisfaction. Finding somebody that's going to just take your money and leave, that's a big, scary problem. So how do you handle that? Well, it all comes about asking the right questions, as you know. And we're going to be talking about that later. But right now, when you mow your lawn, you don't want to mow it too long. You don't want to mow it too infrequently. Now, when's the last time anyone's gone out and sharpened the blades on their lawnmower? It rips the grass blades instead of cutting them. I mean, I'm reading this. I'm not an expert in this because I don't do the lawn. I have a guy do it. And I'll be honest, I'm happy. My guys, we have Springer Landscaping. They're good. They come, they knock it out, they blow all the stuff away. I walk around every once in a while and I say to them, hey, listen, when you're here, can you do this and this? They're like, yeah, Mr. Helfman, no problem. And bam, place looks good. I love my lawn after a really good rain because it gets super green. But clearly we've got headaches with the weather lately. And if you had lost your power, text me, 248-539-9797. Love to hear from you. Don't neglect your turf. You got to aerate your lawn once in a while. Many yards have poor soils. Thin areas, thatched areas. It's from the lack of aeration. And so you literally, it's a cultural practice, and it literally needs to get done. You'd be interested to know that the results of that makes a big difference. Now, what about watering your lawn? There's all these fights about watering your lawn the right way, the wrong way. Many yards experience highs and lows of local rainfall. Like, we just got saturated this last 30 days, a ton of rain. But it's never the perfect amount. You can never, and then you have a sprinkler system, automatic. That's the best investment you can ever do, is put a rain sensor on your sprinkler. Because who wants to sprinkle your lawn after it rained 6 inches? Yeah, I know, that's crazy. But if anyone, by the way, I'm looking for a good sprinkler company. If anyone knows a good sprinkler company, I'd love to talk to them. Like, I'd like to have them on the show and talk about what's the latest and greatest in sprinklers. But the people I've dealt with in the past, they're just not good. And I don't know, there's probably good ones out there. Anyways, you got a question that Google can't answer, or you want to shout out today, 248-539-9797. You can text us. If you water during dry periods, make sure you're doing so frequently, though. When you're not getting rainfall, yards should be watered every 2 to 3 days to maintain deeper roots. I agree with that. But in Michigan, where we are right today, I don't know about other states, but in Michigan, Southeast Michigan, I don't think you need to water every 2 to 3 days. Literally, there's so much rain and so much moisture in there anyways. Like, I would say less watering is better. Now, if you have dry spells and you don't have enough water, then what? Just throwing a sprinkler out for a couple hours or a couple minutes doesn't do the trick, right? That's the key. So what is the situation? Well, you need about 1.5 inches of water per week. That's what it comes down to. There's nothing wrong with that. Just figuring it out is the key. So I want you to know, not hard to do. Not hard to do. So what's on your plan this morning? What are you going to do? You're going to go walk around your house? Let me give you some advice. Get out of your house this morning. Walk around the house at the perimeter. Go to the street, look at your house. Take your cell phone, your iPhone, your cameras, and use it to look at your house like in binoculars, and zoom in on your roof. You see debris from trees? Do you see any holes? Do you see missing shingles that got blown off? Is there hail damage? How do you make a claim? Is it worth to make a claim? Listen, we pay insurance for a reason, right? So unless you're pretty good, you got to be careful. Success is like being pregnant. Everyone tells you congratulations, but no one knows how many times you blah, blah, blah. I get it. It's like my jingle. What you don't know can hurt you. If you get a guy put a furnace in, how about this? Guy puts a furnace in, and it goes perfect. You're happy. It solved your problem, and you're all the wary, right? So now what? You paid $10,000, and you could have got the same deal everywhere else for $7,000, but you didn't know. But it's good work, and you're happy. So the question is, did you get screwed or not? What you don't know can hurt you. That's the key. So the key, that's why they say get 3 bids. But the benefits of getting 3 bids is you got to get contractors that all bidding the same thing. One guy's bidding this product and the other guy's bidding another product. Come on. Apples to apples is the reason for that. Now, homeowners don't know any better, because if you get 3 contractors and they all tell you, oh, my stuff's the best, mine's the best, yours the best, blah, 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 right? So now what? What happens then? Well, that becomes an issue for you. So what you got to do is you got to really do a little research. Did you know most people spend more time planning a 4-day Disney vacation than they do a $20,000 job? That's just doesn't make sense to me. What are you going to do, friends? I just bid out a window project. This is a condo association that they asked me to help them with windows. No problem, I said. And it's a 5-unit building, so you're thinking, okay, not big. The windows are $375,000 for the window build in the building. And finding the right windows for that project in an upscale area, 5 homeowners trying to get everyone on the same page, not easy. So finally you get coordinated. And now here's what the problem is. We get it all done in the window company, really good company, super professional. They're like, hey, Adam, yeah? Guess what? I'm like, what? They're like 26 weeks before the windows are delivered. I'm like, 26 weeks? That's a half a year. You talking 6 months? They're like, yeah. Oi. That's the big deal. Oi. Right? So we're working through all that. And I made it a big deal. I told them, I said, here's the deal. I said, guys, we'll do the installation in the wintertime. And the reason why is you're half of you are in Florida anyways. You won't be home. I'll take care of it. So, according to Joe from Harbor Springs, watering your lawn schedules depends on your soil profile. Yeah, I agree. I got a $700 water bill in Canton 3 years ago. I never turned on my sprinkler system since, and my grass is perfect. Fertilizer is more important than the water. Freddie the pizza man with the highest score, right? One bite, everyone knows the rules. I could have told you that he had the best pizza in Michigan before Dave Portnoy did. But, hey, at least I know the guy agrees with me. And by the way, pop that cap for Freddie the Pizza Man. It is probably it's in my top 3 pizzas for sure every time. Freddie, it's time to move up to the burbs. Get that place. Let's license the name, the dough, the whole thing. Let's do Freddie the Pizza Man meets Birmingham. We'll double the price of the pizza. Everyone will buy it anyways. And we'll call it a day. That's what I'm thinking. And by the way, Freddie has a golf outing coming up. We got to help promote it. So, you finally decided to get a new roof, right? And roofers want you as a homeowner to know these following items. So think about this, my friends. What does your roofer want you to know when you prepare for the roof job? So the roofer sells you the roof. You call up our roofers, and kaboom, they're like, oh, yeah, we got this, we got that. And so here's what they want you to know. If you're a roofer and you agree with this and you're listening, tell me if I'm telling the homeowners the right thing. So this is what the roofers want the homeowners to know. So, as we all know, roofing's a messy job. And roofers typically work at a fast pace. They want to minimize the amount of time it takes to remove your old roof, install the new one. They don't want your home to go too long without any protection. You know, Michigan, can you imagine getting your roof done the other day in the middle of the job, and then all of a sudden the storm clouds come in, and an hour later, boom, power's out, no roof, this blew off, that blew off. That's a big oy vey. Anyways, the roofing crew wants you to mow your lawn. First thing they do, mow your lawn because they're going to sweep your property with magnetic brooms once the project's complete to make sure no nails or cuts or any problems around there. So once you get that done, if it's the lawn's thicker, it's not easy. So mow the lawn. How hard is that? Now, here's the other. If you're hoping for a roof, if you're hoping to re-roof your home now and just never do it again, you might want to go with a roof that's a 50-year roof. The reason why is because it's the materials, it's the system. Now, I had an argument with a roofer the other day, and he's a darn good roofer, and he was telling me, those systems, I don't agree. You know what? We had a little bit of an argument, him and I. So maybe we should discuss it on radio. 248-539-9797. You got a question Google can't answer? We're going to talk about what the roofer wants you to know and how to prepare for his job when he shows up. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. I'm excited for the next hour. We've got some really, really top-notch real estate agents who are true professionals in their trade. And we're going to talk about, all the whole thing about real estate. Everyone's talking about, oh, my God, seller's market, buyer's market. What is the difference? We're going to find out. Should you list your house right now? Is it the best time ever? Or is everyone worried about if I list it and sell it, then what am I going to buy? Where am I going to live? What about if you're thinking of hiring a contractor and you go through all the motions and you get all frustrated and all this anxiety because you can't find what you want? And you're like, let's just move. Don't move. Improve. But if you can't improve, you got to move. We got Vig Simjanowski, Jamie Seitz from Dobie, the VS Group. Yeah, that's right. Don't everyone stand back is what I'm telling you. That's how it's going to be. Most impressed. Did a little due diligence on them, and I'm very impressed with their operation because true professionals. Went in there, looked around, talked to a bunch of people, talked to a couple homeowners who had them sell their house too. Can't begin to tell you, good stuff. I'm excited for that interview. Keep that locked in because they're coming in at 8 o'clock hour. So when the roof gets ready to start, they want you to mow the lawn, right? Are there ways to cut costs on a roof? When you're doing a roof on your house, is there a way to cut the cost? Is there a way to save money? Think about that. Roofing materials are not like fashion trends. It's not Gucci. Right? Well, you would. Yeah, come on. Everyone knows me. Last year's shingles aren't out of style because they were manufactured last year. Think about that. Owens Corning makes good shingles. CertainTeed makes good shingles. And so does GAF and Tamco and IKO. They all make good shingles. The key, my friends and listeners, is the best shingle is the one that's installed properly. So it doesn't matter. It's all about the installation. Okay? Make sure that you understand that. Now, how do you save money on a job? Maybe you talk to your roofing contractor and say, listen, I want to save a few money. But how about being flexible? Roofing contractors sometimes provide a discount to customers who are understanding about the occasional need to change the schedule. Mrs. Jones, I'll do your roof for this amount. However, I want to do it on a day that I have cancellations and I can just fit it in. Would you be able to do that, Mrs. Homeowner? Yeah, now we're talking. Yeah. I'm with you. I'll sign an NDA. A big NDA. I'm okay with that. Now, does it make sense to get more than one price? I'm going to tell you right now, we've been propagandized to get 3 bids all our lives. Started from the insurance repair industry. So think about that, friends. Getting 3 bids. Is that wrong or right? It's right if, keyword if you get bids from contractors who are like for like. What do I mean by that? You don't want to get a bid from Tittle Brothers and Kangaroo and then the third guy's a chuck in a truck. What's the point? You know chuck in a truck's going to be half the price. And then you're like, oh, look at this. I'm going to roll the dice. No, you need to get pricing from contractors who understand overhead. They understand markup. They understand profit. They understand loss. They understand labor. They understand key. Here's the key. They understand communication. You understand that, my listeners? I hope so, because I want you to know I'm here to help you. So yes, get more than one quote, but compare apples to apples. Now, let me say this. If you've done your due diligence, you got 3 contractors coming in. The first one you know is award-winning, certified by the contractor. You heard him on the show, and he comes to your house. You like him. You like the price. Let me say this. For everyone out there listening, I give you permission to say yes. I give you permission to call the other contractor and say, Mr. Contractor, I had you scheduled for Tuesday, but I already made a decision. I got the guy that came out early. Is it first in wins? Because, you used to bid jobs. You used to be like, wait a minute. I want to be the last guy in. I want to be the first guy in. My dad taught me that you want to be the first one in. Because people buy on emotion. Price is very, very sensitive, and price is very important. Don't get me wrong. I'm not downplaying price because price can kill the deal. But people buy on emotion. And what do I mean by that? They look at the person sitting in front of them, and they're like, yes, I want this guy to do my roof. Now, you flip the script and you say, if you don't ask for the sale, you're not going to get it. So if the first guy comes and says, Mrs. Jones, it's $11,500 for your roof. We're certified by the contractor. I'm guaranteeing the job 50 years. I'm here, and I want to remind you, Mrs. Homeowner, I showed up on time. I communicated with you, and I'm going to ask you something, Mrs. Homeowner. Do you like the shingles? Yep. Do you like what I told you? Yep. Do you like the price? Yep. Then here's the next steps. Can I tell you, Mrs. Homeowner, the next steps? Sure, Mr. Roofer. What do I do? Let's book the job. Let's get it on the schedule, and let's get started. All I need is your signature here and a small deposit. And then you got to be silent. Now what happens? What happens next? Mr. Roofer, well, I want to get other prices. You know, according to Adam Helfman, he says get 3 bids. Roofer, you know what, Mrs. Homeowner? It's a smart thing to do. But let me ask you a question. Based on our conversation today, you like everything. So what would change if the other 2 bids were similar to mine, but similar product, but half the price? Well, here's what we do at our company. We know that we're never more than 10% higher or lower than anyone else. And my reputation is we're never the most expensive. We're never the cheapest. We're always in the middle. Isn't that the kind of contract you want? So if you want to get other prices, no problem. Will you commit to me one thing? What's that? Will you allow me to at least have a last look if you get other prices? Because to be honest with you, I'm going to tell you right now, each roofer is going to come to your house and they're going to spend an hour and a half to 2 hours of your time. Just like I'm here, it's an hour and a half already. Do you have 3 more hours to spend? Or are you comfortable enough to get started? My question to you, Mrs. Homeowner, is can I have your business? Is it okay to get started? Ask for the sale. Can I list your house? I'd like to list your house. I'd love to work for you. Let me work for you. Those are the triggering questions. Don't quit your day job. That's what I want to say. 248-539-9797. Got a question that Google can't answer? I'll answer it. You a contractor? You want to shout out today? Don't forget to check us out on Facebook Live this morning. We got a lot going on with the Hired Done Show. We're killing it right now. Don't quit your day job. We're like literally things like that. Now, let me say this. If you had power outage recently, you might want to take a look at getting a generator. And getting a generator is not a big expense, but let me just read this. I read this. Someone texted me. We had quite the situation. The storm knocked out our power. A couple years ago, we put in a full house generator. So the generator, for the first time, started out and the power stayed on. How exciting. What we didn't know was that the generator emits carbon monoxide. Really? It's an engine. Apparently, the CO got into our house. Now that's a problem, Houston. It built up, causing our CO monitor to go off. Long story short, we called the fire department. They responded, took readings, and were dangerously high. So that's the thing. When you install a generator, obviously a gas power one, you got to have it outside. And it's got to have area where air will float around it or circulate. So, yeah, that's dangerous. You got to watch out. Carbon monoxide detectors, man, you got to have them. Get the combo. And so that's important. Now, what's on your home improvement list for that kind of stuff? I'm getting a generator. There's no question about it. The question is, how big and honking generator do I need? I'm the kind of guy that goes all in. I want the whole house. I want my air conditioning, my refrigerator, my freezer. I want everything working. And then there's people like, oh, let's just give you a small generator. We can charge your phones. That's all you need is internet. All you need is your cell phone. What else do you need? You need to survive, friends. Survive. So that's what we're going to talk about. How about tips for wannabe house flippers? You ever think about, I want to flip a house? You know, you watch HGTV, you watch reality television, you're like, oy, what the heck's going on here, right? Nothing goes as it seems like reality TV. But if you're going to flip a house, let me give you a few tips. especially if you're not in the construction business. It's easy to miss major defects. A friend of mine bought a house that was flipped. He was the flip buyer. He's had all kinds of problems, even though it's a great neighborhood. But he'll get out of it. All right, I'm going to give you tips. And don't forget, we are Dobie in his house. They're coming on next hour. The VS Group. Vic Simjanowski, Jamie Seitz. My name's Adam Helfman. This is the Hire It Done Radio Network. Good morning. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Great Saturday morning. Sun is out. Just checking to make sure. What's going on in your home improvement list this morning, folks? Well, as the, let's say, essential workers, line crews, whoever, starts putting all the electrical wires back, people's power's coming back on, your flooded basement's drying out, and you're at the point where you're like, all right, it's time to move. I'm done with this place. That's how you got to think, right? You can't find a contractor. You're getting frustrated. No one's showing up. The prices are outrageous. You're hearing about all your friends who sold their house the day of, they listed one day, got $20,000 over offer. Are these stories? What's the real story? Is it real? Well, we're going to debunk everything, and we're going to give you facts today, folks. You're going to leave this conversation this morning, and I'm inviting everyone to listen. But you're going to leave this conversation with really good information because we have professionals in studio, not like myself, but we have professionals in studio that literally know the real estate business. So I want to welcome to the Hire It Done radio show, Jamie Seitz from We Are Dobie.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yay, thanks, Jamie. And Vic Semjanowski from Dobie.
Thanks for having us on, Adam.
My pleasure. No, so is it We Are Dobie? Is that what it is? Or Dobie Real Estate? What's the professional name?
Dobie Real Estate.
Okay, and you're the VS group.
We are the VS group at Dobie Real Estate.
I like that because you take a team approach.
Yeah, the team approach came about just out of the blue. I was there with another agent, and I just looked at trying to find a way to mentor young agents and bring them in and give them an actual chance to succeed in the real estate business.
Well, let me just say this. I'm impressed because I know Jamie, and I see how she promotes and like works with you. And I'm like in her Instagram or on social media or wherever, I'm like, seeing, oh my God, there's an open house here, this and that. So it's pretty cool. How long have you been a real estate agent?
This April was my 5th year.
Wow. That's great.
Short period of time. I owned a manufacturing company before that, and got out of that and got into something that's a little more fun.
Right. So are we seeing record real estate transactions? Give me the pulse right now. What's going on in the real estate business?
It's definitely record real estate times right now. We had our brokerage meeting on Thursday, and last time this year, I think we did 90 transactions. And this past month, we did 124 transactions.
So it's on fire.
And that's only with 80 agents. So I can only imagine brokerages that have 200-300 agents.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. So, Jamie, how long have you been in the real estate business?
Just almost a year now. So
Awesome.
I'm definitely new, but I've
You love
learned
it?
so much. I love it, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what is it like? What's the right now, since you're new into this, what's the top thing right now that you love about the housing market?
Being creative with my offers, and it's really rewarding seeing my clients get into a home that they love and calling them, letting them know our offer was accepted.
Oh, the good
a
news.
huge
I've
win.
got good news.
Yeah. Oh, I had a friend. We just got an offer on one of our listings, and I told her, we got one in. She started screaming. She was so happy.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. So, Vic, do you remember your first deal that you ever made?
I definitely do.
Give us a little insight into it.
My first deal was amazing because the brokerage I started out at, I told him I had a listing, and he said, fill out the paperwork. I said, what do you mean? I don't know how to fill out the paperwork. He's like, well, just fill it out. I'll take a look at it. And so the first time I did it, me and another agent named Kristen Patterson that worked at our office together, we teamed up at a Starbucks and tried to tackle this. It was our first week in business, and where do we start?
Right.
So that transaction taught me a lot because I had to pretty much figure everything out on my own. Me and Kristen figured it out, but it was a little stressful, and I think that's why I started a team. I didn't want anybody else to go through that weird feeling in their stomach of where do I start, what do I do. In the manufacturing business, you had to go through an apprentice program. In real estate, there is no apprentice program.
It's a free-for-all.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's interesting you say that because I kind of feel that that's how it is. But that's one of the things that I liked when I first met you guys is the team approach and like how you stay in your lane, Jamie stays in her lane, and you guys complement and help each other to actually produce more. And that's a really good thing. So like right now, people are, no matter what city you live in, Metro Detroit area, there's no real estate area that's down. It's pretty much everything's up, right?
I totally agree with you. Everything is up.
So let me just ask. So if someone's thinking about, all right, I don't want to remodel. I just want to hire a real estate agent and I want to put my house on the market. What is the first thing what advice can we give the homeowner right now to do?
What people are scared of right now is, if I put my house on the market and I can't find one, where am I going to go? Mm-hmm. There's houses out there. You just have to find the right agent that's going to find the right house for you. So don't be scared to sell your house right now. The market is hot, but there's inventory out there. There's people looking to sell. You just have to find a creative agent that's willing to go above and beyond and knock on some doors for you and find some houses for you.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Jamie, how often when you guys have listings, does someone, like, let's just use West Bloomfield, for example, and they want to put their house up in West Bloomfield, do the homeowners usually say, oh, we're moving to Birmingham, or do they stay around the area?
I mean, Birmingham's a great area. It really just depends on what they're looking for. If they want to be closer to downtown, more around people, walking distance to all great restaurants, they would go to Birmingham. But
or places, wherever.
Yeah.
I want to know, because, a lot of times people like Huntington Woods, we talked about in that article. We'll talk about that when we come back. But I want to see where people move, because sometimes they stay in the same area. So, all right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more with We Are Dobie and the VS Group. My name's Adam Helfman. This is the Hire It Done Radio Network.
helping people go from 2 million to 3, 5 to 8. We've had agents who have gone from $3 million to $24 million in a year. It's cool, and it's a really big way of how Dobie's going to be successful. Agent growth is the only way Dobie can grow. We are only as successful as our agents. So the core principle with growth that we're never going to eliminate is that relationship with the agent. We're going to build a team as we grow. The team is going to get bigger as we grow to manage and maintain those relationships. But it's not just about mass recruiting. To do more sales as a broker, get more agents. No, there's a lot of sales to be had with the current agents that are here if you just really help them grow their business. Retaining is another really important thing too. I think an average agent stays at an office 3.5 years, but we hope that Dobie is your last stop. That's very, very important to us.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. We've got Jamie Seitz and Vic Simjanowski from We Are Dobie of the VS group at We Are Dobie, right?
You are correct.
I love that. So we're talking everything real estate. So you're a homeowner, you're ready to hire a real estate agent, you don't know where to start. Vic, let me ask you, is there, I see a lot of people all of a sudden, I'm getting in the real estate business. I'm in the real estate business. And they do it like kind of part-time. Is there a difference between someone like you? Because you're full-time.
You're right. It's a full-time job. Like I told you, I was in the manufacturing field. I went in to work at 6 a.m. and I worked until the job was done. So new agents that come into the business, I tell them, do you want a full-time paycheck or a part-time paycheck? So if you want to have a full-time paycheck, you got to put in 8 to 10 hours minimum
Every day.
every single day. Come in every morning, get yourself into a routine as a job. If you're going to come in at 12 to 3, expect the paycheck to be from 12 to 3. New agents get that first commission check, and then you don't see them for a month or two, and they don't get the concept of it takes 30 to 60 days to generate those next leads. So come to the office every day. The Dobie office is amazing. Jamie can attest the culture there is amazing. The stuff that we do there, I don't think it's similar to any other brokerage in the Metro Detroit area.
Yeah, I was quite impressed when I saw your offices. You guys do literally a fantastic job in coordinating the process from start to finish, basically, on any kind of listing. It's pretty impressive. So let me ask this. So if you get a call, someone says, I'm thinking of listing my house. My neighbor's house is for sale. Is that the first thing they say? I saw my neighbor sold their house pretty quick. I'm testing the waters.
It's either that or my neighbor had an open house. I walked over there and I wanted to see what this whole process is about. And they see all the people lined up outside waiting to get inside because we were only allowing one family at a time. And some open houses, people were waiting actually an hour outside just to get inside to take a look. So all the neighbors get excited. They're like, I want to sell my house now too. So
if you put a list, let's say you list a house on one street. Do you ever knock doors on and say, hey, we're listing your house? You send a postcard. How do you promote your name besides your sign, obviously?
So with the sign, we do we call around the sign, we call it. So we try and go on to there's programs that gives us phone numbers and emails of all the people that live around there, and we invite them to our open house. We let them know, hey, why don't you come on over and get to handpick who's going to live in your neighborhood. If you have any friends, let them come in and be your friends in the neighborhood. You get to pick who wants to come.
I kind of like that. So, Jamie, I've seen you at some open houses. Now that we're post-COVID, I want to call it post-COVID, are homeowners telling you, I don't want too many people in the house? Do you warn homeowners and say, hey, listen, we're going to have showings. It's important that you know that people will be walking through your house. Are people uncomfortable by that?
We've had maybe one listing say they didn't want to do an open house, and that's fine. We don't have to market it that way. There's other ways to market it. If it is for COVID reasons, I just let them know, hey, I bring hand sanitizer, I turn on all the lights, no one will touch anything. In and out, I'll bring booties, and just make sure that they're comfortable.
Well, that's cool. That can make sense. So what happens, Jamie, when you get a call and you go to visit a homeowner's house? They're like, all right, I want to list it. I saw your name. I saw this. I heard this. And then you go in the house and you just see a hoarder. How do you politely? Is there a process? Is there how do you be oh, this is great. I love your house. Let me give you some tips before we list it. Or how do you say it?
Yeah, it's a delicate subject because you don't want to come off as offensive.
You don't want to insult them, never.
No, not at all. So you really have to just kind of, tour the house, maybe give them a little bit of feedback is like, hey, I really think that people would, enjoy this more or have better feedback if we, to maybe take some of this down or.
Yeah, I was wondering
really
what you say.
delicate, yeah.
How do you tell somebody, like, hey, Mrs. Homeowner, I think I can get you X amount of dollars, but in order to get this, we got to do these 3 things.
I think the easiest way is we hire another professional
Yeah.
to come in and have that conversation. I let them know this house is beautiful. We need to declutter it a little bit. I'm not the specialist in it, but I have someone that is a specialist that'll come in here, give you an hour consultation and show you how to make your house get the best bang for their buck and take it off of us and put it onto somebody else so
That's
we don't
smart.
get that bad.
Do people still do home
relationship.
staging?
They do. It's I still think it's an important part.
It does sell houses.
It does. It helps with the view because people walk into a house. Clients I've had, they pass on a house because of the paint color, let alone how much stuff is in the house. If you could actually make them feel like they could visualize themselves living there, it helps a lot. So staging is a huge part in the new construction that we do. It's the best way to get people to see what they're doing, see the house. And we've been doing virtual staging, even when it's just 2x4s. We can actually virtually stage the room so
That's
people
kinda
can
cool.
see it. Yeah, it's a cool concept.
Well, that gives people the ability to visualize what they want, right?
Correct.
That makes sense. So, Jamie, how important to you or to the homeowners or in your experience, curb appeal? When you pull up to a house, is the lawn cut properly? The house looks clean up front. The homeowners, like potential buyers, it's got to look good, right?
Yeah. Well, I just had a listing. My friend had some, sunflowers on her front porch. And after the holiday weekend, it was so hot. So they started to die. And I took them and I moved them and, picked up any little trash that would kind of fly away. It's super important. You want to love the neighborhood.
Yeah, well, that's the key, of course. Now, curb appeal is one thing. Buying decisions. When you meet a homeowner at a house, can you sense right away when they look at the house and they like it right away? Like, can you see like the light goes on or not? Is there like a trigger at all? Or
Body language.
it is.
Yeah, you see how quickly they move through the house. If you ask them, do you want to go to the basement and take a look at the mechanicals, and they're like thinking about it, you're like, this isn't the one that's going to be for them because they don't even want to take a look at that part, which is pretty much the most important part of the house.
Well, you got the guts of the house for sure. What about when they come look at a house and then they call you later and they're like, hey, we want to go back and see that house again? Is it, like a second viewing?
I've shown a house 3 times in one day because they wanted to bring different family members.
Is that a sign like they're ready to buy or not necessarily?
They ended up not writing an offer. It's hard to say until they write the offer. But yes, usually if they want more people to see it, they'll want,
So let me ask you
final
something.
opinion.
Let's say you're the listing agent and then another agent brings a family member. Do you call the other agent and say, can I get some feedback? Do you ask that? Do you communicate with them? Is there are you allowed to talk to the other agents?
So through one of the apps, through the Showing Time app, once the agent's done, they're supposed to leave you feedback. So we ask certain questions. Is the house right? How did it show? Do you think it was priced right? Is there something that we should do that would make your buyer come back for a second time or submit an offer? So agent to agent help is the best concept, but people don't fill out that feedback. So once the showing's done, I give them an hour or two because I know they're out showing houses with them more. So I call back and just ask for some feedback that I can give back to the home seller because they want to know. Like 10 people came through my house. You don't know why it's not selling yet.
Yeah. So you want to know that.
You know that you
It's
need
important
feedback.
to communicate.
It is.
Are there like certain agents that just never give feedback? They don't communicate. They just come
All
in
the time.
all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
What about you guys? You give feedback to other people?
I try to do feedback as soon as I get into my car so I don't forget right in the driveway. It's usually have 4 or 5 questions. Send it back so the agent can go back to their client and let them know maybe something they can tweak to help sell the house.
So let me give you an example in my head what I think feedback would be. They see the house and then they fill out the app and they say, my customer liked it. However, they want a first floor master and they have 3 bedrooms. You needed 4 bedrooms. Could that be something?
Yeah, that's great feedback, and I'll let the agent know that's great, but you looked at the MLS ticket and you knew there wasn't a first floor master. You knew we only had 3 bedrooms.
All right, well, that's cool.
Why'd you come take a look at the house?
Of course. All right, we're going to take another break. When we come back, I want to talk about deal breakers. What are some of the bad things in a house? Maybe odors, it's gross. Are they hiding something illegal? I don't know. My name's Adam Helfman. We got Vic and Jamie from from the VS Group at weareadobe.com. We'll be right back.
My name is Vic Simjanowski, and I'm Adobe Real Estate Agent. Adobe is unlike any other place in real estate. When I started in this business, I was thrown to the wolves and forced to learn this business on my own. When I see others start, I want to help them. I see myself in them. I don't want them to feel lost. It's at these times that I harness our core value of boss up, having an ownership mentality and helping others. At other brokerages, everyone is so separated. At Adobe, we are all in it together while operating our own individual business. We help each other out with deals, we celebrate wins, and help each other out when someone's down. But what brings me back to Adobe every day is the culture. It brings me back with a smile on my face.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. We've got the VS Group in studio. Jamie Seitz, welcome back.
Thank you.
And Vic Simjanowski, welcome back, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
So if someone wants to call you, what's the phone number for them to get a hold of you?
The phone number is 248-229-9137, or you could email me at vic@weareadobe.com.
Perfect. And by the way, if you're driving, obviously you can always go to hireitdone.com or click on Ask Adam. I'll get you the number. but it's 248-229-9137. Let's talk about deal breakers. So someone calls you up for a house and they want to list it, and you notice they're like hiding a few things. Maybe there was a flood. Maybe there's, some damage. It's better to just call them out right there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you have to have that tough conversation right off the bat because you're putting your name on the product, and you don't want to be known as the agent that didn't disclose something.
So, there's what they call Michigan Seller's Disclosure
Correct.
Form. Do you, like Jamie, if you filled it out with someone, you walk them through the house and they're glaringly missing something. Do you bring it up?
I would definitely bring it up. Legally, we have to disclose anything like that, whether it's water damage, any information that they have. If they don't, it's going to come out in the inspection anyway, and then we would have to disclose it then.
Speaking of inspections, do you cringe when you get the offer and everyone's excited and then the inspector comes in? Are you guys allowed to be there when the inspector's
Yeah,
there?
we have to be there.
With the buyer, we are, but on the sell side,
Okay.
we're not there.
So does it make you nervous? Like when the inspector's there and he starts, oh, here we go. Oh, what's this? Oh, let me see this. Does that you're like, oh man, this guy's either because obviously whatever they say impacts your income.
It definitely does. And the type of inspector you bring is huge. They can make or break a deal for you. So building a good relationship with an inspector that you trust is key to our business because they're deal breakers, they're deal killers, 100%.
Now, have you ever had a deal killed by an inspector and you thought it was a bunch of BS?
Yeah, I usually ask for the inspection report just so I can go over with my seller and show them, hey, this is what's wrong. The biggest inspector guys are the dads that come with the first-time home buyers that are inspectors, and they go through the entire house nitpicking every little thing that they could find, and that's a tough conversation you have. I asked the parent, I'm like, what was the first house you bought? What was the house look like when you were in your early 20s? Did it look like a 5,000 square foot mansion, or was it a starter home that had a little bit of character that needed to be fixed up? And the dad inspector's the tough guy. He's
It's interesting. I've dealt with that in home improvement where the father comes in and with the project and they're like, well, wait a minute, why'd you use this brand? Why aren't you doing it this way? Like all of a sudden you got a new expert coming in. They know everything, right? And you're like, oh, what do I got to deal with this guy for? So I classified, we've had this conversation, I classify two types of inspectors, deal breakers and deal makers. And do you agree with that?
I agree with you 100%.
But we want to clarify for everyone out there listening, when I say deal breaker and a deal maker, the deal maker inspector still is as thorough, if not more thorough, than the deal breaker inspector. It's just that the deal maker inspector, I say, when he finds an issue, he also proposes a solution to the issue. Is that safe to say?
Absolutely.
It is absolutely safe to say. The thing on every single inspection report is the GFI plugs around sinks and stuff. This is a fire hazard. You could electrocute yourself, even though there's nothing within 20 feet of it. But that's the main inspector guy.
They become alarmists. And then depending on the homeowner or the purchaser, they read it and their reaction tells everything.
You really have to have that conversation. I do with all of my clients. I'm like, okay, there are going to be things wrong with the house, and it's going to seem like a really long list, but we're really focused on the big ticket items, and we'll let you know whether we think, we should walk away. Let's get a specialist out here. What should we have the seller pay for? Things like that.
Interesting. So, Jamie, it sounds like to me that you also are playing therapist for the homeowner sometimes.
Sometimes, it's a really emotional process.
It's got to be crazy.
Yeah.
It's stressful too, I bet.
It can be, yeah. Sometimes deals can go really smooth and you're like, oh my God, I love working with this agent. I love this client. And things go really easy. Other times you want to rip your hair out, but it's worth it in the end when it goes through.
See, I have a lot of transactions. So Vic, how do you handle, and this is a good problem to have. Like a lot of contractors are being like, hey, Adam, we're so busy, we're not even taking any more work. We're telling people if you want us, call us in the winter for 2022. And it's just like that. But for you guys, you had a house on the market. Let's say you listed on Friday. By Monday, there's multiple offers, right? Some of them over asking. How do you handle that? How do you manage that?
The the key to all those offers is I take a look at the lenders as well. I take a look at the agents. Have I worked with them? What type of a relationship do I have? What kind of a lender are they using? Are they somebody that I've worked with before? If I give them a call, are they going to answer and let me know if this buyer is qualified? I try to go through a vetting process to make sure we accept the best offer, and sometimes the best offer isn't the most expensive or highest priced offer. It's the people that are creative in helping the seller. People are offering closing costs for the house they're purchasing for the seller, or giving them.
So they're getting creative.
They're getting creative
That's
to try
awesome.
to try and get their deal accepted, and those things are better than an actual over asking price.
We just had an offer that we accepted for a listing, and one thing that stood out to me the most was she did, $600 towards seller's moving costs and $100 for lunch on closing day to celebrate. And I thought it was so cute. I'm like, big smile on my face. I call my friend. I'm like, we got to take this one. They
Right.
really want the house. They love it.
I like to
creative.
hear that. That's interesting. So getting creative is the new way to do things.
It
I
is.
mean,
It's
in this type of market.
not just the price. It's not just over asking or all these escalation clauses or different items that they're putting into the purchase agreement.
What's an escalation clause?
So escalation clauses say, for example, for easy math, somebody's offered they list the house at 400,000. We come in and tell them we'll pay you 400,000, but we'll go all the way up to 455,000 with a $3,000 escalation clause above your highest ask, up to 455. I'm not a fan of them. People are doing them on my listings. I won't accept them. I think it's just give me your best price, and
Right.
to me, I know if you tell me you're putting in an offer at 400 and your escalation goes to 455, I already know your cap, so you're doing a disservice to your client. I know you're at 455,000 as your top, so I'm going to try and get that out of you as easy as I can.
And that's part of the job as the real estate agent.
Yeah.
So we're in a seller's market, and we know what a seller's market is that when you're selling your house, you have the advantage because there's more demand than houses. Is that safe to say?
pretty much.
Okay, so then if we have that situation, and then you have the heat, it's starting to heat up even more. The demand and becomes like I want to say shooting fish in a barrel, but it's pretty good. So, let's say you get a house, you're listing it for $500,000, and then multiple offers, listing price, cash buyer, ready to go, proof of funds, ready to go. Then someone says $525, but then they say contingent upon inspection and appraisal. What happens when the house doesn't appraise properly? What do you do?
You have to have that tough conversation with your client, or provide reasons why the house should appraise. That's why I like the cash offer, because there is no appraisal. Cash offer, the appraisal's gone. So once they want the house, even if it's a little bit less than what the conventional loan is asking, I typically go with the cash offer for that purpose.
I like that. So do you think there's a market correction coming?
It's hard to say, because I think right now what's happening is people overpaying, spending $20,000, $30,000 over asking, is just changing the whole dynamic of that subdivision. It doesn't state in the public records that they gave a $30,000 a guarantee over appraisal. Mm-hmm. So the list price, if it was $300,000, they put in their offer at $330,000 and are willing to pay $330,000. All of a sudden, the comps in that subdivision just went up $30,000. So that's where I think the market's going to soften a little bit, because I believe all these other homeowners are going to be like, hey, this guy got $30,000 over what I think my house is worth. I'm going to start listing my house. So I think inventory is going to start coming. I think people are going to be on the market and getting ready to sell based on what's happening to the market. I don't see a correction.
We're talking with Vic Simjanowski of We Are Dobie, and it's 248-229-9137. He brought his partner, Jamie Seitz, in today, and we're going to take more questions. If you have a question for them, text us, 248-539-9797. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about hottest markets in the metro area, where you want, if you're looking for a good investment, where to move to. My name's Adam Helfman. This is the Hire It Done Radio Network.
helping people go from 2 million to 3, 5 to 8. We've had agents who have gone from 3 million to $24 million in a year. It's cool, and it's a really big way of how Dobie's going to be successful. Agent growth is the only way Dobie can grow. We are only as successful as our agents. So the core principle with growth that we're never going to eliminate is that relationship with the agent. We're going to build a team as we grow. The team is going to get bigger as we grow to manage and maintain those relationships. But it's not just about mass recruiting. To do more sales as a broker, get more agents. No, there's a lot of sales to be had with the current agents that are here if you just really help them grow their business. Retaining is another really important thing too. I think an average agent stays at an office 3.5 years, but we hope that Dobie is your last stop. That's very, very important to us.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. We have the VS Group in studio from wearedobie.com. Vic, what's the phone number if someone wants to call you?
248-229-9137.
And then it's Vic
at wearedobie.com.
So if anyone needs their house listed or wants some information on real estate, I highly recommend you give them a call. So you're one of the top realtors in your team in Metro Detroit. Let me ask you a question. Why are you at Dobie?
It's the thing we do at Dobie is the Dobie difference. That's the thing that we talk about all the time. The culture that's created there. There's no offices. It's an open environment. So you have people producing $10, $20 million agents, helping out brand new agents. Just the collaboration. The way that Simon Thomas has built this place is us as agents, we're his clients. Mm-hmm. So he calls it the country club of real estate. So he wants us to be at our desk. He has people that walk around that ask you, do you want some coffee? Can I get you something? They want you to feel successful. They want you to have that feel that you want to come to the office every day.
It's interesting you say that because I when I came to visit you guys, I've been there twice now. It's a good vibe. When I walk in, like I was greeted by 1, 2, or 3 people every time. Like boom, boom, boom. Hey, how you doing? What can I do for you today? You here to see somebody? Oh, come this way. Like super cool.
That's all about Simon. His family owned hospitality. They still do. They own banquet halls. So he grew up servicing people.
So they understand.
And he services us as agents. We're his clients there, and it shows.
It's a nice concept too. You have an open concept in the offices in there in Birmingham. It's cool.
Yeah, nobody has an office, and everyone talks. You collaborate. You hear different listings that people have. You hear different ways that people handle conversations on the phone. The environment, the culture. I've been to a couple of brokerages before, partnering up with Dobie, and that the culture there is amazing. People that will come there, other agents, when we do closings, they're like, "This, I haven't seen anything like this."
Smart.
It's a great concept.
Well, and that's important. So, are you looking to add to your team?
I'm always looking to add. So is Dobie. Simon's goal is to get to 150 agents. Currently, we have 80 agents, and he's expanding. We're adding 5,000 more square feet to our office. So his vision is
yeah,
amazing.
I see your guys' signs everywhere. Like, the Dobie difference. I like the way that you said that. That's kind of cool. So, again, if someone wants to get information about real estate for their house, give them a call at 248-229-9137. Also, if you're a real estate agent or you want to get in the real estate business, you're looking for a place that literally will mentor you and prop you up, right? Is that a good way to say it?
100%. We have 3 brokers right now in office. You have Simon and then 2 associate brokers. They walk around and ask you what you need all day long. You have a lifeline that you can call. There's somebody's going to answer your question. Agents at the office, we all help each other out. We celebrate wins, celebrate losses together. It's more of a family environment. It's not just a place to go to work. That's what I talk about, the culture. It's a culture of you feel like you're a part of a family.
So what about when people are looking for real estate agents? I tell people, I give homeowners questions to ask contractors, right? What's included, what's not included. But I also notice from my experience in real estate in the past, there's real estate agents who just want the listing, but then there's real estate agents who will work for you. Is that true to say it that way, or are there guys or real estate agents just looking to get you to sign because they think the MLS will sell the house?
Yeah, there's more involved to selling a house than just putting a sign in front of your house. You have to have a good collaboration with your client. You have to have those tough conversations. Clients always think their house is worth more than it is, and you have to let them know that, hey, this is what the market dictates. It's not something that I want you to get as much as you can. But that conversation with letting them know I'm a professional. Zillow's crushing real estate agents by everyone thinking that they're realtors right now. They go on to their estimate and
Zillow
say,
is that fuzzy math. Fuzzy math, right?
Yeah.
Fuzzy math. They let you know this is what my house is worth.
But you do know that every homeowner today goes and Googles their house, right?
They definitely do. They Google their house. They let me know what it's worth. And trying to find the agent, you have to find the agent that wants to sell your house, not just list your house.
That's a good one. Sell your house, not just list your house. That's prophetic. I like that.
Yeah, I can list your house, but my goal is to sell it for you and do it the best way I can and negotiate for the best your interest and the other agent and the buyer or seller's agent. I try and facilitate a transaction. That's all we do as agents. We bring the buyer and the seller together. So
when someone calls you and they're like, well, in the real estate business, the average commission 6% or that's the stated required. What do they call it when it's 6% commission? Is that what like normal?
It's the normal commission. 3% goes to the buy side, 3% goes to the sale side.
So what happens when the homeowner says, "Well, I got a guy who said he's going to give me 1% back," or they start dilly-dallying with the commissions and playing all that fuzzy math? How do you handle that? Because you're entitled to earn your living. They're taking money out of your pocket, basically.
There was an agent when I first started this business that gave me a little technique that I use. When I get into that concept of them asking me to cut my commission, I take $6 bills out, put them on the table. I say, take these $3, put them to the side. Those go to the buyer's agent. I'm left with $3 to market your house. $1 goes to my broker, pay my taxes. $2 goes to market your house. Then the third one goes to feed my kids. So where do you want me to cut? The only place I can cut is marketing of your house. So if you want me to just list your house and just let it sit there and I can't market it properly, I can cut my commission. But you want the full 3%, you want the full the top dollar that you're going to get for your house, you have to give me my 3% so I can actually market your house the proper way.
So let me ask you this question that just triggered a thought. When you got the listing and then you say market the house, what above the listing is marketing the house? Tell me what that means.
So
just give me an example.
With each house we do, doesn't matter if it's an $80,000 condo up to a $5 million house, we do the exact same thing with our VS group. We do a video, we do a drone video, we market it on the internet, we do professional photos, we do booklets for your home, we do an open house. We try to get the most exposure for your house, and that costs money.
Yeah, it does.
So marketing your house, getting all these videos made, we try to treat each client the same way. That's why our motto at the VS Group is above and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's what homeowners want to know. They just want to know, okay, is it just the guy getting my listing? Now, what about the guys who come out and you know that someone calls you? They said they heard you on the radio and they want a price on it, but then another person says, listen, Mrs. Homeowner, I can get you $1.2 million for your house, and you know the average is going to be $900.
I have the conversation. Like I told you, I'm here to sell it, not list it. If you want to get that agent, have them list it for you. Sometimes being the second and third agent is the one that sells the house because at that point they're willing to listen to you as an agent. But like you said, Mr. Homeowner, going on Zillow, seeing what they think their house is worth, or an agent coming in just to get that listing and not actually wanting to sell it. They just want to have their name in front of a house.
Well, that's And that's what I was thinking, because in remodeling, it's different. If you get 3 bids, most people say, roof is $10,000, the other guy's $11,000, and this guy's $7,200. People are like, they focus in on the lowest price. You flip it for real estate, and everyone says, I'll get you $100,000 for your house. The next guy says, I'll get you $120,000, and then one guy says, I'll get you $210,000. Really?
Yeah, it's the market that's going to dictate the price. It's not the agent. I let my client know if they want to overprice their house. Tell them I'll give you a weekend. If no showings happen or we don't get an offer, the only thing in this seller's market right now not selling your house is your price. Yeah. People coming through multiple offers. If we're not getting an offer within that first week, guess what? We're overpriced.
Have you ever been in a house, Jamie, I'll ask you this one. Have you ever been in a house where all of a sudden you see water leaking or something's wrong or, the basement's flooded and you're like, oy vey. Has that happened?
Yeah, it happened to me actually a couple weeks ago. Day of inspection, it was after all that rain.
Ugh.
And, it's terrifying.
What do you do in that? You just you call the homeowner, hey, we got a problem,
Well, she was already on the way, and, I told her we're going to have the inspection today. This is something, I'm glad it happened because now we know we can get it fixed before you move in. And we, have that talk with the list agent about what our next steps are going to be.
Perfect. Well, look how time flies when you're having fun. Is that crazy?
Yeah, it flew by, actually.
I want to thank you both for coming on today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was great content. I appreciate that.
Thank you for having us on.
Of course.
I'm sure you could have had anyone else that you wanted, so we appreciate you as well.
Well, you know what? Listen, we want to spread it around. We want to, we want to keep the finger on the pulse of everything in the home improvement business, including, if you're going to move, then you should, you should find the right real estate agent. So the VS Group, Vic Simjanowski and Jamie Seitz. The phone number again, 248-229-9137. I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. I want to thank Jamie and Vic for coming on. Shout out to all the Dobie people. Dobie does it. Dobie this, Dobie that, everything.
Out.
My name's Adam Helfman, and this is the Hire It Done Radio Network.